This is the video Porsche fans argue about in every forum. The 718 GTS with a turbo 4-cylinder versus the flat 6. One is much cheaper on the used market. The other feels like the real Porsche. Today, that gets settled with real numbers, real ownership costs, and zero nostalgia. But before we dive into the specs, you need to understand why one of these cars carries what I call an identity penalty. It is a price gap so irrational that it actually creates the best buying opportunity in the modern Porsche market, and we're going to look at the exact dollar amount of that penalty in the market section. Before the hot takes start flying, take a second and look at what these cars actually are. The 2018 and 2019 718 GTS got the 2.5-liter turbo flat 4, rated at 360 horsepower, rear-wheel drive with either a manual or PDK. Then, from 2020 through 2025, Porsche brought in the GTS 4.0 with a naturally aspirated 4-liter flat 6 and 394 horsepower. Again, rear-wheel drive against manual or PDK. On paper, the newer car does win, but not by some giant gap. Fastest laps shows the 4.0 at 0 to 100 km per hour in 3.6 seconds versus 3.8 for the 2.5T, and its power-to-weight ratio is better too, 249.6 horsepower per ton against 230. But the turbo car still lands a real hit in the mid-range. It runs 60 to 100 km per hour in 4th in 3.8 seconds, versus 4.3 for the 4.0. And that is why it feels so strong on a normal road. That split matters because these engines work in different ways. The 2.5T feels punchy right away. The 4.0 wants revs, then pays you back with the clean pull and the sound buyers wanted from the start. Now we can get to the part that actually stings. The Classic.com market benchmark puts the 2.5T GTS at $68,863 and the GTS 4.0 at $93,014. That is roughly a $24,000 gap before you even start arguing over color, buckets, mileage, PCCBs, or whether the car has the right gearbox. Same badge, same basic mission, very different money. And while most of these cars live in the 60s, I found one specific sale that represents the absolute floor for the 718 GTS market. If you see a car at this price, you need to know if it is a bargain or a biohazard. We will break down that specific $48,500 outlier in just a second. And when you dig into real sales, the spread mostly holds, but not in a neat, clean, always rational way. On the 2.5T side, the comps are pretty clear. The 2019 sold for $64,500 with 42,000 miles. Another 2019 sold for $65,000 with 51,000 miles. A 2019 manual with 10,000 miles brought $73,500. And a 2018 manual with 15,000 miles sold for $80,000. So the Turbo GTS isn't free. Not at all. But you can see the range. Nice driver mile cars live in the mid-60s. Cleaner, lower mile, more desirable examples can climb into the 70s and even touch 80. But you also see softness. A 2018 with 29,000 miles hit $56,000 and didn't sell. And another similar 2018 with 24,000 miles stalled at $58,000. Then a 2019 with around 26,000 miles stopped at $48,500 with no sale. And that number matters because Classic.com also shows $48,500 as the recorded low for this market. Take a look at that, because it tells you something important. The market likes the 2.5T more than the internet likes to admit. But buyers still want a deal. They are not getting swept away by the badge alone. The 4.0 is stronger, obviously, and the sold numbers prove it. A 2021 with 27,000 miles sold for $86,055. A 2022 manual with 1,800 miles sold for $95,718. and a 2024 manual with just 912 miles brought 117,000. That is real premium money, and the reason is simple. The 4.0 gives buyers the story they wanted all along. Naturally aspirated flat six, mid-engine chassis, usable every day, and no GT4 Aero or GT car edge to live with. Even so, the 4.0 market is not a blank check. A 2022 with about 11,800 miles failed to sell at 75,718, and the same car also failed at 78,000. A 2023 with just 1,455 miles stopped at 83,500 and still missed reserve. A 2025 with 309 miles topped out at 92,500 and didn't get it done. So yes, the 4.0 commands a premium. No, that premium is not infinite. Auction buyers still punish fantasy pricing, which is exactly why this whole conversation has to stay grounded in actual comps instead of owner emotion. And this is where the 2.5T starts getting really interesting. The first owner already paid the identity penalty, and that changes the math in a huge way. Forum sentiment lines up with that. Owners and shoppers keep landing in the same place. The 2.5T is often $20,000 to $35,000 less than a comparable 4-liter, while the real-world pace stays close enough to make the cheaper car harder to ignore. So here's the buy, hold, avoid grid. Buy a clean 2.5T manual or PDK in the mid-60s to low 70s, if the miles and spec make sense. Buy a clean 4.0 manual in the high 80s to mid-90s when the options, condition, and mileage line up. Hold a well-spec'd 4-liter if you already own one, because demand and replacement cost still help you. Avoid overpriced 2.5Ts trying to ride 4.0 money just because they're low mile. And avoid 4-liter sellers charging pure emotional tax with no auction evidence to back it up. Now, money on paper is only half the game, because one bad inspection can vaporize every dollar you thought you saved. But before you go hunting for that $60,000 bargain, there is one specific mechanical failure, often overlooked in PPIs, that can vaporize $20,000 of savings in a single afternoon. We are covering that in the reliability breakdown next. Now, the part that can wreck the whole value argument, because a cheap Porsche is only a smart Porsche if the car underneath it is right. And just to keep this honest, the channel's own GTS 4.0 is only 2,600 miles in and has had zero issues so far. So this section leans on the supplied buyer guide research, forum sentiment, and service data. Start with the 2.5T because that's where the inspection matters more. The known watch items from the research are pretty familiar if you've spent time around turbocharged modern Porsches. Water pump leaks, thermostat problems, and early turbo coolant line leaks. None of those automatically make the car bad, but they do mean you can't buy one lazily and assume the low entry price was the hard part. And there's more. Early ignition coils can crack and cause misfires. Some of the coil or injector wiring can get brittle. Turbo wastegate rattle shows up on certain cars. And the research also points to oil consumption, plus leaks around spark plug tubes or the valve cover. None of this means the 2.5T is some ticking disaster. It means the cheap buy can get expensive fast if the previous owner skipped the boring stuff. And boring stuff is exactly what keeps these cars healthy. Both cars also share one very Porsche problem at the nose. The front radiators and condensers sit low, they catch debris, and they collect junk like crazy. Leaves, gravel, road trash, whatever. Damage there matters, and blockage matters too, especially if the car saw regular highway use or lived somewhere rough. You want that area checked closely, because cooling system neglect is such an avoidable way to spend real money. The 4.0 looks calmer, mostly because it skips the turbo-related worries. No turbo hardware, no wastegate drama, no turbo coolant line concern. That does not make it cheap to run. The 4.0 still carries normal Porsche costs, and the service schedule bites a little sooner. On maintenance, both cars want oil every year or every 10,000 miles, brake fluid every 2 years, and intermediate service every 20,000 miles. Tracked cars could cut oil service to about 7,500 miles. The cost split starts with spark plugs, 40,000 miles or 4 years for the 2.5T, 30,000 miles or 3 years for the 4.0. Plan roughly $1,500 to $3,000 a year for normal upkeep. So what has to happen before money changes hands? First, always get a DME readout and over-rev report. Always. Abuse history hurts value and can point to real risk. On the 2.5T, turbo wastegate checks are a must-have because that engine's whole bargain case falls apart if the boost hardware is tired. A bore scope is not mandatory on every clean 718, especially because these engines use SUM bore cylinder coatings, and bore scoring is far less of a fear than it was on older Porsche motors. But it is smart on higher mile cars or anything showing oil use, smoke, or messy records. Then the normal PPI stuff: coolant system, radiators, suspension wear. Seals, service records, and verifying the options are actually what the seller says they are. So the practical advice is simple. If you're buying the 2.5T, obsess over history and inspection quality. If you're buying the 4.0, obsess over price discipline. And once you split it up that way, the answer starts getting a lot clearer. So now the answer gets clean, and it's cleaner than the forums usually make it sound. These are not really rivals in the normal sense. They are two different answers to two different Porsche questions. The first question is, how much 718 GTS can someone get for the least money without giving up the magic of the platform? The second question is, what is the sweet spot if someone wants the full Porsche feeling, the better resale story, and the engine that makes the whole car feel complete? For pure value, the winner is the 2.5T GTS. The market already punished it, so today's buyer can step in after the damage is done. You still get the same mid-engine balance, the same size, the same basic GTS personality, and a car that is still seriously quick on a real road. If budget matters, this is the smart buy. For the best all-around Porsche to own in this matchup, the winner is the GTS 4.0. This is the car that finally lines up the platform, the badge, and the engine in a way that just feels right. It gives you the flat 6 return without forcing you into GT4 money, GT4 suspension attitude, or GT car compromises. That matters because Porsche is not transportation. A Porsche is a feeling people chase, and the 4-liter taps straight into that feeling, in a way the turbo car just doesn't quite match. For the best long-term asset between these two, it's still the 4.0, but with discipline. Research points to about 15% value retention after 3 years for the 4.0 versus about 8% for the 2.5T. But anyone treating a GTS 4.0 like a retirement account needs to calm down. In the 718 world, the real collector money still chases GT4, Spider, GT4 RS, the harder core stuff. And that brings this to the buyer matrix. Buy the 2.5T if budget is the main driver. You want the GTS package at the lowest real entry point, and you're willing to inspect the car properly. Buy the 4.0 if you can absorb the premium. You care about resale protection, and you want the engine that gives the car its missing piece. Skip both and go straight to a GT4 only if your real goal is collectible upside and you're comfortable with a stiffer, louder, more compromised thing to live with. One more split matters. If you drive hard on normal roads, the 2.5T can feel absurdly good because the torque is right there, ready to go without asking for drama. If you want that Porsche pulse, that thing you feel in your chest when the revs climb and the car starts talking back, the 4.0 wins, and it wins clearly. Buy the 2.5T if you want the best deal and you're willing to inspect it hard. Buy the 4-liter if you want the better engine, the better story, and the stronger long-term hold. Watch the next video on Cayman values, because the wrong Porsche spec can cost you way more than the crest on the hood.